Hi everyone, my name is Moss and I'm Technical Director for our GenAI track at Unit8. We do a lot of different GenAI projects for our clients, and there are two common patterns that I would like to share with you. For the first one, we see that the unified user experience matters a lot. If we want the AI to be adopted well within our clients, the experience have to be unified, simple, and streamlined for the end users. The second point is, we see a lot of the project budget goes to integration and infrastructure work. And as important as that is, this can be improved by using accelerators. Having said that, let me introduce you to our Unit8 GPT Wizard. Imagine visiting your ChatGPT Enterprise instance, and from the same loved interface, you can interact with companies' proprietary data and systems without leaving ChatGPT. So that's what Unit8 GPT Wizard is offering. It's an integration layer plus the implementation of popular use cases and systems, so the user can from ChatGPT Enterprise interact with these systems, searching information, but also taking actions on these systems. So what does it encompass? So from infrastructure and integration perspective, it comes with easy deployment using Terraform on different cloud providers, but it also comes with a modular and scalable architecture following best practices. From a security standpoint, it comes from out-of-the-box authentication with user delegation, so you can enforce role-based access control downstream when accessing services, let's say like SAP. And it also comes with a private network setup to protect itself from unwanted access. GPT Wizard enables the users with blueprints for popular use cases and systems, empowered by role-based access control. And it actually integrates very well also with the agent builder from OpenAI, so the clients can also create new workflows and integrate it and call them from ChatGPT. What does this mean for our clients? We promised a unified user interface, and that's what's happening here. You can use ChatGPT to do the things you want to do with different systems without leaving ChatGPT. Also, the wizard enables the users to spend the time and the energy they have on the use case logic rather than working on the enablement pillars, which is very useful for our clients. Finally, the wizard can be extended very easily with new use cases and system connectivities, thanks to its openness, so the clients are not locked in. So without further ado, let's see a demo of the wizard.
Imagine using the ChatGPT interface to securely search your own proprietary data, structured and unstructured. Ask complex questions, get PhD-level analysis, and turn results into beautiful visual insights. Now go further. Don't just search, act. With the right roles and permissions, trigger workflows, call internal APIs, and execute operations without leaving ChatGPT. Your data, your systems, one interface.
So, what kind of metrics can we expect by using the combination of ChatGPT Enterprise and Unit8 Wizard? So in the first example, we are doing something like calling structured databases from ChatGPT. And imagine if this is a use case, for example, business coming and asking for reports and dashboards on some structured data. The usual process is finding the engineers who knows the database, who has to write these queries, come back with the dashboards. And we're talking about a few days of back and forth. This is not all active time, but also lost time between the things like the person not being available. When we use something like ChatGPT empowered by Wizard, we can do all of this in something about 20 minutes. So a lot of time saved and we can get things done. In a second example, we can interact with different systems like SAP, mailboxes, and so on to get whole tasks done, including executing operations on the systems. So usually these operational tasks take a few hours, but using the wizard within ChatGPT, we can do these things in like 10 minutes, or we can iterate in like half an hour and get things done. Nevertheless, there's also a soft ROI here. If we can do almost everything from ChatGPT, we are doing less context switching, we are not changing between tabs, we are not doing different system interfaces, and the brain is much happier getting the tasks done. And finally, with the wizard, we save the time that the clients have to invest in implementing the integration layer for MCP servers, for custom GPTs, for authentication and authorization, for role-based access control and delegation. And this is usually months of work for clients to implement it by themselves. And with Wizard, this is coming out of the box. So hopefully this makes you excited to work with us on ChatGPT platform and with Unit 8 to deploy Wizard for you. Imagine a business user in the company would like to talk to the structured data, which is hidden inside the company's structured databases like Postgres or similar. They can, using the wizard, write the question they have. And what's happening here is ChatGPT is giving this information to the wizard, respecting the role-based access control to check if the user can actually access these databases. Then in the background, Wizard is running an agentic text-to-SQL thanks to OpenAI Agents SDK, writing a SQL query, debugging the SQL query, shortening it, finding relevant pieces of information out of that query, and then bringing this back to ChatGPT so the business user can see the information that they would have a hard time accessing that without the help of an engineer. So as we can see, it took about a few seconds, and now we have some information on some products back. We can see things like co-occurrences. And as we can see, the query that was used in the background is not the simplest query to write, let's say. Now, the user can, of course, continue with other questions. So now we are asking for, some, let's say, monthly trends on some product sales. So again, what's happening is ChatGPT is delegating the task to the wizard, which is using Agents SDK in the background, writing queries, doing text-to-SQL, and bringing this information back to ChatGPT for the user to be visualized. As you can see, we have some nice plots showing the product sales. Now imagine at this point, the person wants to go way deeper and do really PhD level analysis on this data, for example, with respect to potential to increase prices for these products. So at this point, they can switch to GPT-5 Pro. So ChatGPT, when we put it on GPT-5 Pro, took about 17 minutes and did really in-depth analysis on whichever products we can increase the price on. So as you can see, it's coming with some clear recommendations on which products to address. And it even explains itself why it took such a decision, which is quite interesting and quite detailed. And it even explains what kind of economics logic it's using. It has looked at elasticity. It has looked at things like basket. And you can see that it went above and beyond to really give us quite a strong analysis on how to deal with the situation if we want to increase product prices. So this is amazing. It took some time, but it gave us really deep insights on what to do. And you can see it even came with some queries that we can run later to fact check and validate. Now imagine we want to report our findings back to business. So maybe just going back with data and numbers would not be like the best way. So we can actually create a dashboard. So we can switch back to GPT-5. We don't need Pro to create dashboards, and we can ask it to create some nice visualizations for us, which depicts all of the data and the decisions. So we can take this dashboard back, let's say, to CFO or like the business owner who is interested in this problem. So as you can see, GPT decided to think a little bit and started writing code and created this dashboard for us. That is showing all of the data that we fetched using the connector from Wizard, has visualized it, and has also included the analysis we had for co-purchases, and also like it gave us the elasticity analysis on recommendations we have seen before. Also, it gives us the queries in case we need to bring this back for testing. So as you can see, in a couple of minutes, about 20 minutes, we went from a business request to actual insights and dashboards. So what we showed you so far was how through ChatGPT and using the wizard, you can talk to your company data, including structured data. But what if you want to go beyond searching for information and you want to take actions on systems and execute operations? So this is where the second piece of Wizard comes in. We have implemented access to several systems, including SAP, mailboxes, Atlassian, toolchain, and you can do things like check my email for a specific email and process it in SAP. So the first thing which happens is I have to, of course, log in so Wizard knows what rights and accesses I have. Can I read things from SAP? Can I write things on SAP? So after it gathers this information and knows my roles and rights, it starts to call different services to get the things done. I'm going to allow it to take the actions. And what you see is it's going to call several different actions. What we have done, which I find quite beautiful with the Wizard, is instead of writing prompts for every single action it can take, we have implemented the service discovery. So it knows what can I do with Mailbox? What can I do with SAP? So it can really know what kind of different actions it can take and then orchestrate itself to get the job done, even if the job is vaguely different. So as you can see, there's a request to create some order in SAP. So I'm going to proceed with that. As you can see, I have instructed to take the steps and even correct itself if some mistake happens. So as you can see, it's just describing the plan it has to execute and it's starting to execute the plan. So first, it tried to find the customer. So it found the customer and extracted the information needed. Now it's trying to find the product ID. It seems that it tried to do a specific method, like getting a substring, which apparently doesn't work with SAP, and it tried to do a different method by listing and finding the product. Now that it has the information, it's trying to create the order in SAP. So as you can see, the sales order is now created. Now it will create a line item to complete the order creation in the system that it's needed. Perfect. So it did everything we wanted, and it corrected itself whenever a mistake happened. So maybe what I would like to do is send an email back to Alex about what happened, but maybe sending an email feels too dangerous. So maybe I will ask for a draft. So I'm going to ask to create a Gmail draft back to Alex. And this is a nice thing because actually when we implemented the service for Gmail, we just tested send mail. We never tested writing a draft. But because Wizard benefits from service discovery, it realized there's a draft creation API. And it decided to use that to create a draft which was successful with our search try. So let's see if it creates a draft in my Gmail. So here it is. You can see the draft created in Gmail. And that was fun. I want to bring to your attention then that during this whole demo, we didn't have to leave ChatGPT, apart from right now which I'm showing you the draft, of course. So we could interact with different systems, interact with a structured database, interact with SAP, interact with mail, without leaving ChatGPT. And we did all of the things we wanted from there, which is very empowering and very nice. So I hope you enjoyed the demo. Looking forward to working with you. And good luck with the future that is changing so fast.